Are you hosting a Zoom meeting, but you would like to be able to broadcast it somewhere else, whether that is Facebook or YouTube, or maybe have it embedded into a web page? Well, you can do that. And today I'm going to talk about how you can stream your Zoom meetings, and I'll actually show you a demonstration of how you can do that. Now, if we have never met before, my name is Kat and I help people create professional and engaging online presentations. And this is a question that I see come up often. I've got a Zoom meeting, but how do I get it out there? Is there a way that I can stream this or broadcast this meeting outside of the Zoom call itself? If you're wondering why, well, there are a few reasons that you might want to stream your Zoom meeting. One is for greater transparency. Perhaps you are on a board and you have the open meeting session that you want to be able to have stakeholders or community members attend. This is a great way that they're not in the meeting, but they can listen in. Maybe you are part of a local council or a politician and you want people to be able to see what you are doing, but they're not actually on the call. They're able to watch. The other thing is this might be an alternative for a webinar. So adding on a Zoom webinar costs extra money, but let's say you want to have a panel and there are 4 panelists speaking on a topic. You could have those 4 panelists be in the Zoom meeting having a discussion amongst one another, but then everyone else can watch from the outside. So you can stream that meeting, and that way people can still participate and engage by commenting or chatting, but they're not actually in the call, and that is just reserved for the panelists. So it's just another alternative for you to be able to run a webinar style presentation and make that public to your audience. Also, there might be an overflow. I have seen speakers do this. Maybe your meeting has a limit of 100 people and you think more people might come. Well, maybe the first 100 people who register, they're in the Zoom call, but everyone else can just watch from an overflow link. That's something that you can broadcast out. And finally, another example is that maybe you want your users or viewers to have a couple of different options. For example, there might be people who don't want to actually be on the Zoom call, but they'd like to watch, or there are people who don't use Facebook or YouTube or certain platform and they'd rather be in the Zoom meeting. You might have just different preferences of your audience, and by streaming the Zoom meeting live, there are just multiple avenues where someone can watch and potentially engage or participate. So those are some of the reasons, and I'm sure there are more, but the best way to actually see how you do this is to walk through an example. So I'm going to show an example now of how you can stream a Zoom meeting to a Facebook event. There's just one option. So if I share my screen, first, the thing you need to do is go into your Zoom profile. So actually log in on the Zoom website, and you are going to go to your meeting settings under Advanced Settings. And once you do this, scroll down to the part where it says Allow Live Streaming Meetings. So you have to actively choose to turn this option on in order to make it work. If you make any changes, then you can just save those changes there. Now, a custom live streaming service would be something like Restream, which is an example of a product that will help you multicast or simulcast to different platforms at the same time. So it sends the message out for you to, say, more than one platform. Now, in our example, we're just going to stream to a Facebook event. So once you have that set up and saved, you want your Zoom meeting. So here I have a Zoom meeting of 1 with just myself, and I do have a separate webcam at a slightly different angle set up. I'll leave this off for now so I don't distract you with this slight delay and looking in different places, but this will come in handy in a moment. So once you have your meeting set up, and your meeting is live, you will go over to the 3 little dots under More. And when you check that, now you have the option, because you have changed it on your settings, it will have the option to stream to Facebook, YouTube, or use your custom live streaming service if you want that. So let's choose Facebook. Now, what this will do is actually bring up a browser and ask you where you want to stream. Now, in this case, when it asks where we want to go, we will pick which one. So you could share to a group, an event, on a page that you manage. In this case, I've set up a private event. So now we need to find the event, which I called Test Zoom. There we go, Test Zoom Stream. So now I select that and I click Next. Now it will open the Facebook Live producer, but Zoom is talking to Facebook and telling what the settings are so that they can link and talk to one another. So now we have this live Facebook producer. So at the top is your stream, and then down here are all of the options. Now, automatically Zoom is talking with Facebook, so they're kind of doing all the work for you. But let's add a little title, the test stream, and I highly recommend that you actually do a test stream. And the main reason is that there is a delay. It's around 20 seconds, which is significant when you are engaging with an audience, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I highly recommend practicing a test stream of actually putting this out there so that you can see what that's like. In the bottom corner, you will actually see a little preview of your stream. So let's actually go to Zoom and turn on my camera, and then we'll go back here. It's not playing yet, that's why you can't see it, but we'll have the camera on. So now when we click go live, it will start to set it up, and I'm going to jump over to the event, and I will click refresh on the event. And it takes a moment to set up, so I'm going to refresh again. So now you can see the live stream in this event. So if we press play, and we actually don't want volume, I don't want any feedback, you can actually see that there is a live stream feeding, but if you're paying attention, you can see that it is definitely delayed. So when you are speaking in your Zoom meeting is 20 seconds approximately ahead of what is showing up on this page. But users who are watching your stream, they are able to open up the stream, they can comment, and they can engage with you. So as you are hosting this, you can have your Zoom meeting open on your desk, and you can have your Facebook event page, or if it's YouTube or somewhere else. That's why it takes some getting used to of this delay. So I highly recommend that you spend a little bit of time practicing, and also let people know that there is a slight delay. So if somebody engages or comments and it's going to take a little bit to get back to you, it's helpful for them to know that that is what is going on. Okay, so this is the example, but now if we go back to Zoom, in the Zoom window, you will actually see at the top, it is letting you know that this is streaming live to Facebook. And this is where you have the option to stop the live stream. So let's stop this live stream. So now my Zoom meeting is still going. I haven't ended this meeting, but if we go over here, you will see that it will momentarily, about a 20-second delay, it will eventually cut off. So once you say end live stream on your Zoom meeting, then about 20 seconds later, it will actually end on your Facebook page. So now you can see that this stream has ended to this event, but it was actually fairly straightforward to set up. The main thing that you really want to keep in mind is that you want to practice having this set up. You also probably, if it's a bigger event, want to have people who are monitoring any chat or engagement if you have those options available, and in your Zoom call, because if you are running the meeting, you want to make sure that you are able to be present in the meeting, presenting how you want, engaging, facilitating whatever you are doing to run that meeting, but also not leaving people off if you are giving the option for people to chat, engage, or react to your meeting. If you are simply embedding, say, an unlisted YouTube stream into a website and there's no chat feature and people are just watching, you just want to make sure that it's working and have somebody seeing on the technical side, is it all set up and is it good to go? But then you don't have to worry so much about that engagement piece. That might be great for, say, if you are just broadcasting a meeting and you're not looking for that engagement piece, but you want to make sure people have the option to watch it. So these are the types of considerations that you would want to think about before you set this up. But as you can see in this demonstration, it is actually fairly straightforward to get set up in your settings and then go live from your Zoom meeting once it is live. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, do leave them in the comments, and I'll see you soon.